What is the most important thing that you can do for your note investing strategies? Stay tuned. Welcome to this week's edition of NoteSchool TV. And today, well, we're going to be talking about that most important thing. I'm not going to do it yet, though. First, I want to introduce, NoteSchool's founder, our chief visionary officer, all-around good guy, Mr. Eddie Speed.
Good morning, Joe.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. It is a beautiful day.
It is, and I'm so glad to be here with you and our audience today, because I think we have something very special today, and I think you said it right. If you're trying to figure out what you need to do to go have the next gear in this business, hanging out with some people that have got the next gear, got the next several gears, having some connectivity with people that have made some decisions that you haven't made yet, or you need to make, and you need to know what the right decisions are. Joe, that is called environment. That is called community. Community is the single most important thing in this business. Joe, I'm a member of several real estate masterminds.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason that I am a part of these real estate masterminds, although I'm technically in the note business, is because of community. I do business with a lot of people that are in those masterminds. I get to share my vision about notes, and they get to share their vision with me about their real estate business. So I understand more about it, so that we are able to design better things for them to create notes that are workable for them. And you know why I know that, Joe?
Mm-hmm.
Community.
It's community. My mother used to say, I'm sure yours did too, it's who you hang out with. That's what you'll end up being, right? And if you hang out with the right people, then that'll be great.
So, Joe, a few years ago, about 14 years ago,
yes,
I had the vision that this industry did not have a trade show that was run. The trade show was run by people that were super active in the business. And 14 years ago, we didn't have that, right? And so we launched a note industry trade show that was for the people in the business. And we'll kind of just play something in the background as we're going here. We'll have just some pictures of different things on stage and people on stage. But what I want to describe to you is what we thought was a game changer in the business.
Yeah. And
that game changer was what we named a note trade show called Note Expo.
Yes.
So we'll just have some pictures in the background. We won't necessarily try to describe what you're seeing, but it'll give you a sense of what it's been in the past.
Yeah.
Right. And once you see where it's been in the past, you're going to realize community and relationship is everything. Right. Yeah. Who do you spend time with? And what do they do in the business? And what are they doing that you should know how to do? Not just from the stage, although the stage speakers are killer good.
Yes, they are.
Killer good. But it's not just that, but go discuss what you've seen on stage with the next person. Go discuss, collaborate and leave there with community. So community is not just what's presented on stage. Note Expo is got great speakers with incredible content, the best in the business for this small investor note trade show. This isn't for hedge funds. Okay. This isn't where, people are trading $1 billion loan trades. There are trade shows for those, but Joe, to be honest with you, that doesn't do our audience any good.
Absolutely not.
So this is really important to know. If you want community, you got to go get to your community. And this is where it's at. So who's in the community? What does the community look like? How does it work? Why does it matter? The reality is this is a community of smaller note investors. Joe, this may be somebody that buys one note. This may be somebody that buys 50 notes.
Yep.
This may be somebody that buys 1,000 notes. It's not the hedge funds, right? It's not Wall Street. It's a community of small note investors. And a lot of them, Joe, are not doing this on a full-time basis.
Right.
They're doing it on a part-time basis.
Yes.
It's a note investing strategy without having to go build a whole business. And we're going to talk about how you have the efficiency to do that in this audience. Joe, what's the 5 things that are a threat to this business this year?
Yeah.
You want to know?
Yeah.
We're going to have a speaker on Note Expo that's going to talk about that.
Mm-hmm.
What are the innovations in the market that are going to change the entire industry forever? Trust me, Joe, we are going to have a speaker that is going to show us the note investing 2.0 version of the business. I know for a fact that this speaker is going to light it up, giving us a vision of how you can have way more liquidity buying notes. You know, one of the problems that people, Joe, have in the business is you buy a note and you run out of money and you can't go buy the next note.
That's it.
There's a way that a small investor could operate pretty much like Wall Street operates. There's a way to do that. And right now we are going to be unveiling something at Note Expo this year that explains to you what that is and how that works. Mm-hmm. Joe, what about legacy?
Yeah.
What about how do you own a business that's inheritable? If a rental property business isn't inheritable, how do you own a business that is inheritable? Talk about that, Joe.
Well, what we see, and we've talked to so many landlords, and they're in Note School as well, and outside of Note School. But what they see is, as they are getting older and they talk to their kids, their legacy, right, about what's going to happen down the road, and they'll say, "Well, Dad, Mom, we just really don't want to inherit these properties, right? We've seen you miss Saturday football games or cheerleading practice or dance practice because you had to go out and work on the property, right? And we just want something where the legacy is where your legacy allows us to live our lives and raise your grandchildren." And we see that every day with everybody that we talk to from all walks of life, right? Not just, kind of our hair color, right, Eddie? We see it from all walks of life. And it is just about building that and knowing the puzzle pieces. We talk a lot about puzzles pieces in Note School. And it's just the fact that we can show you how to put those puzzles together as far as how to manage and how to manage the note and how to liquidate when you want to liquidate part of that. It's just right, Eddie. It's being the bank, right?
Well, I think the key to it, Joe, is understanding that every business, whether you're starting from scratch, whether you don't have a note, whether you haven't done notes yet, maybe you're a landlord and you're looking at converting your rentals to seller financing. Maybe you've bought a note or two and you're trying to figure out how to go buy 20 notes. You're trying to go from this level to this level.
Right.
Maybe you're at this level. Maybe you have 20 notes. How do you get to 100? Like whatever that is, every good business starts out with a clear vision.
Yes.
And I'm going to say to you that without any mistake, Note Expo has the right people that really do the business and do it well, speaking to you how they do it at what level they're doing it at.
Right.
Everything from how you're building a business for your kids to inherit. Everything from going from deal 1 to deal 5. Everything from how somebody got their first deal done. How somebody got their first 100 deals done, right? What about the market? Is there any concern about the marketplace? Is there any caution flags? What about the regulatory environment? What about compliance? What's changing in the market? What about learning what is happening to seller financing? And are there some positive things out there that are happening? And I know for a fact that one of the presentations is going to be killer with Jeff Watson talking about what's happening right now with the Seller Finance Coalition, the timeliness of this bill that's being dropped right now, the timeliness of it relative to when Note Expo is going to be. is the things that if you're in this business and you're trying to say, should I stay in this business? Should I get more involved in this business, or should I back away and go do something else?
Right.
You're going to leave there with a clarity that the runway in this business in the next, call it 12 to 24 months, may be the best we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Let me repeat that. The runway in this note business in the next 12 to 24 months, we believe, and I've been doing this for 45 years. Joe, you've been doing it for many decades too. We believe it's the best it's ever been. And you're going to leave there with clarity and vision of what that means.
Yes. And Eddie, so whether you've not done your first note yet, you don't know a lot about the note business, so you'll feel 100% confident there. You'll feel comfortable there. Eddie, there'll be people there. Our friend Tim, he's probably one of the longest Note School members for the last 20 years and has bought hundreds of notes. So it's not just for somebody that's been in the business. I see every year people come in, they've not gotten in yet, but they see and they catch the vision, because I'm just going to say it what it is. It's infectious, right? You catch it when you're around a lot of positive people and you see the speakers that are at the front of the room and the vendors that are outside in the vendor hall, and just sitting down and having lunch and breakfast and snacks and all of that with everybody that's there. It really is, it's a place to come together.
Well, it's real. The thing that when I originally founded Note Expo, and this is different from Note School, okay? When I founded Note Expo 14 years ago, I said it's a real place of people that are really doing the business, talking about the real things that matter. It's real, right? And what you want to do is get ready for the next phase in the business, whether, as you said, Joe, whether it's getting started or the next rung up, no matter how many rungs up the ladder. We're gonna be talking about things at Note Expo this year that I will assure you are revolutionary to the market.
Right.
The speakers that we're going to have on stage, the conversations that are going to be happening at these lunches and at around the coffee pot and at a reception in the evening, like all of those things are going to be the buzz about, man, I can see the vision. You're going to leave there with real information and a clarity, a vision of what this business means for you. And that, in my mind, is ultimately it. And by the way, people say, well, is Note Expo the same every year? Well, is the market the same every year, Joe?
No. It's guaranteed to be changing. It changes every month. And that's why we call Eddie our chief visionary officer, right? He's right on top of that, looking right over that horizon. And there is a lot going on, and we realize that and we understand that. And having somebody that has that clarity to kind of point us in the right direction, be our beacon to where we need to go, that's a powerful, powerful thing.
Well, Joe, if you can't tell, I'm kind of amped up.
Yeah. Well,
and the reason I'm amped up is because I know that this year is really special.
Yeah.
Because our industry is at a point of maturity. Our industry is at a point of the next thing that we can do in this business that's kind of like no other market we've seen. And it is really, really, really an exciting point that I know that when you leave Note Expo this year, I'm 100% certain you're going to say, wow.
Yeah.
You're going to say, wow. And let me just tell you something, Joe, I went from taking the business to a certain level. So I was doing the business before I became involved in any note trade shows. Now you got to remember, this is 40 something years ago, right?
Right.
But when I made a commitment to become involved with note trade shows, and that was really about 35 years ago. I'd been in about 10 years before I did that, because there just wasn't a place that I knew to go that I thought was the right information, the real information, and all that, right? And then, Joe, I became involved 35 years ago in a community of people within my business.
Yeah.
I was holding hands with people that were my competition.
Yeah.
I was collaborating with people that I might be negotiating against on a note deal next week. Right? But what I started really realizing is how much more I could grow and how much more I grew the business because of what I did by collaborating with other people in the business, by being in the community, not just on my own. Yeah. So you can get to a certain amount on your own, but you can get to an incredibly different level in a community. And that is what Note Expo is about.
Yeah. It is about the power to share. We're better together than we are working apart. And that's the important thing for the industry, is that we continue to build this industry, because Eddie, with banking and all of that the way it is, seller financing is a thing, and it's going to, as we continue to build out what we're working on right now, it's going to change a lot of people's lives from being kind of in the trenches every day to having a true passive income and a true life.
I can say with 1,000% confidence that we have the biggest announcements for the seller finance industry this year. And I've been doing this for 45 years, Joe. Mm-hmm. We have the biggest announcements this year for the industry that we've ever had.
Yes.
Now, you can come see me at Note Expo at the end if you think I told you a tale.
That's right.
Because I'm 100% confident that when you hear some of the things that are unpacking in the marketplace and how they're unpacking and how it works, you're going to get a clarity of how this works. And so you look at other market changes like Bitcoin, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way to have Bitcoin for notes.
Yeah.
We're gonna show you how that works.
Eddie, that's kind of off the chain, isn't it?
It's kind of off the chain. If you're like watching this and you've seen several of our episodes, you're like, Eddie's amped up today, man. Eddie's fired up today. Well, and the answer is I am fired up, and I can't wait to see you at Note Expo. So listen, if you don't want to be on the cutting edge, then don't come to Note Expo, because Note Expo is going to put you on the cutting edge. If you want to be on the cutting edge, if you want to have community, if you want to have clarity, if you want to have vision of where the market's going and how you can plug into it and be a part of it, Note Expo is going to be the place to go. That's Joe, right. I'm about out of soap, but I want to tell you right now that I mean this in all my heart to all you guys. I started in this industry 45 years ago. 25 years ago, I built a school, and I thought I could change the business by how we had a school.
Yeah.
14 years ago, I had a vision of a trade show that you didn't have to be deeply involved in note schools to still get a vision of what the market was doing and how for you to get involved. And this year at Note Expo, we're going to show you some things that are going to light your fire of how you can plug into the business with more efficiency in less time, more profit, more cash flow, and less of your time than you've ever had to commit before. So whether you're a 1-noter or a 10-noter or a 500-noter, it is the place to come for small investors to figure out the marketplace, the opportunity, the things that are changing in the market, and variables in the market that you're going to need to know. So how to guide yourself through that path.
Yeah.
Note Expo is going to be the place.
So, Eddie, Friday morning, 9 a.m. Central Time, Dallas, Texas, the place to be, November 7th. The place to be is Note Expo. We look forward to you being there. I'll be right there to welcome you. And we can't wait to see you guys and to share with you a business that we've loved and we've been in a long time. So we want you to be right there with us and pick up everything that we have. Thanks so much. We will see you at Note Expo 2025. Thanks so much. We'll see you next week.